The city of Fort Collins has been around since 1866, and although much smaller than it is now, people have called Fort Collins home for hundreds of years.
With dozens of landmarks scattered around town, it is not difficult to see and learn about the rich history that Fort Collins has to offer.
Yes, but how much do the people of Fort Collins actually know about the town?
Good evening, CTV. I'm here in Old Town Fort Collins asking residents questions about the history of their own town. So let's go. Nice job. So now you know. For the first question, what is the oldest business in Fort Collins?
Looking around at businesses, let's go. I don't know.
Gotta be an old town, though, right?
It is an old town. It's on College. It's City Drug.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
It was opened in 1873 by a Wyoming pharmacist and a Fort Collins businessman. And it's not in its original building, but it's still the longest standing business.
Okay.
My trivia question for you is, what is the oldest brewery that opened here in Fort Collins?
Is it Coppersmiths?
It is Coppersmiths.
Is it?
Coppersmiths opened in 1989 and opened actually only 2 weeks before Odell Brewing Company opened. So my next question is, what is the oldest restaurant here in Fort Collins?
I couldn't tell you. Coppersmiths?
No, that is actually the oldest brewery here in Fort Collins, but the oldest restaurant is going to be the Silver Grill Cafe. It was opened up in the 1930s and has expanded and grown ever since. But nice guess. So my question for you is, what is the name of the abandoned town that is under Horsetooth Reservoir?
I do not know, but I know it exists. Like, I looked this up 2 weeks ago, so I really should know it, but.
Would you like a hint?
Yeah, give me a hint.
All right, it's related to beer.
Yeah, I still don't know.
All right, it's called Stout, Colorado.
Yep, that's right.
It was an old drinking town for quarry workers nearby. It has long since been abandoned to make room for what we now know as Horsetooth Reservoir. So Old Town Fort Collins inspired what theme park?
Disneyland.
That is correct. It was Disney World. Walt Disney drew inspiration from
Exactly.
Fort Collins in his hometown in order to make Main Street USA of Disney World and many of his other theme parks.
Correct.
That is all the trivia questions that I have, but there is so much more to Fort Collins history, and if you are interested in learning more, consider doing your own research. Now, let's head back into the studio.
So Bailey and I are actually both from out of state, so I actually learned a lot from this segment.
Yeah, it was really fun researching all the little trivia facts about Fort Collins and getting to know more about the town I live in now.
Yeah, totally. The Walt Disney fact especially, I was like, I had no idea.
Yeah,
I think that's
fun.
so interesting.
Especially, I'm from Southern California, like right around Disneyland. So I'm like, that was actually really fun to know.
Disney in both places you
In
live.
both places.
That's awesome.
And would you like to know another trivia fact I found?
Yes, tell me.
Fort Collins actually used to be nicknamed the lamb feeding capital of the world.
The lamb feeding capital?
Apparently, we had so many lambs and so many crops that we fed a lot of lambs.
I had no idea.
Well,
Learning new things.
speaking of food, I got the chance to talk with the owner of the oldest restaurant here and learn a little bit more about their history.
Since 1933, the Silver Grill Cafe has been serving up food to the people of Fort Collins. However, with a deep-rooted history, there is so much more to the Silver Grill than just breakfast and lunch food. Owner Alan Jansen reveals some of Silver Grill's history.
We occupy 5 buildings now. The original building was 218 Walnut Street. Started in 1933 by Flossie Widger. Flossie owned it for a number of years and then sold it to his son Pete when Pete came back from World War II. Pete owned it all the way up until 1979. He sold it to John and Awful. I bought it from John about 3 years ago. The history of the restaurant is very long and deep-rooted, but I can tell you that you can't help but be immersed into it once you walk through the doors and become part of the old brick and the old floors and just the immense amount of history.
The Silver Grill Cafe is not only known for its history, but also for its freshly made cinnamon rolls.
Cinnamon rolls are a great tradition started by John probably close to 30 years ago now, and it's a traditional cinnamon roll that your mom used to make or grandma used to make, and we do it in a little bit different spin here in our giant sizes at Silver Grill. Now we've even evolved that to seasonal flavors. And again, it's just a good traditional home feeling inside of the restaurant.
With their deep connection with Fort Collins and the sweet treats that they serve up, it is no wonder why the Silver Grill Cafe has found so much success.
Throughout the years Silver Grill Cafe has been open, the community has made strong connections with the restaurant. These connections are just one of the reasons that the Silver Grill Cafe has been open for all these years. Well, I'm Bailey Borkowski.
And I'm Bella Walser, but that is all the news we have for you tonight, Rams. Check out our YouTube channel for more content all week. Stay safe and have a great weekend.